Alright, so we're back into another Dragon Ball Super card game video. This one, we're going to talk through some rulings. I've been doing this for pretty much every set. If you haven't seen the last one, definitely check that out as we go into all of the playtesting up until the point of set 9, which is about 2 weeks from now. You gotta know if you're playing the cards right, and we actually got a good amount of updates, and I might even get or make another video after this, so definitely subscribe if you are new. Become a sponsor, it's only $1. Join the Discord and all that other jazz. Let's look at some stuff. So if you're ever wondering, I say this in every single video that I make for this, it is going to be at that rule at the top. I'm not going to do all of the rulings, obviously, all the ones that are updated or all the ones that are new. Like I said, I'm more than happy to do another video if you guys want to see some more rulings or anything I missed. If you have any questions, definitely let me know in the comments below. I think the only thing that really got updated from the rule book was for successor. This is the version 1.09.1, which if we look down here, it is clarification on the energy cost of battle cards that activate successor, which is all the way up here. I do want to say, here we go. So they were saying basically it's a keyword that allows an owner to choose any mono green, mono yellow, green, yellow battle cards in their battle area whose costs add up to the original cost of this card with successor. So there is one specific ruling that makes that pretty important, but we're gonna take a look at that in a second. And here it is. So for this one, they updated the keyword for successor. There's a couple of these in here that are pretty much there's really only one here. They mentioned the Violent Predator was an 8-drop blue-green card in which you can use it for successor, and obviously you can't. You have to have green, mono yellow, or green yellow. It would be probably incredibly strong if you could do that, but you still need the color requirements. So your leader card is a fusion Vegito, and I place a relentless Son Goku in the drop area for successor for Dispo, which is a green yellow, I do believe, or one yellow, one green, one of those. And no, it has to be the original color, which is pretty important to know that it has to be original color from what this is telling me here, because Vegito does make everything like the Vegito leader, the set 2 leader, which somehow it always gets shafted. It makes everything red, yellow, blue, and green colors. And with Goku, I think this one is I want to say a green or a red card, and trying to play for a yellow, so you can't do that. But the most important part in which they were referencing the new change, or I was referencing the new change for the rule book, is that if you have Cell's Birth and you have the Android 13, which this is a 9-drop, I want to say it's a 9-drop. Here he is. So this is the 9-drop, or 7-drop, sorry, in which they're asking, can you use this with Cell's Birth on the board, which reduces the cells in your hand by 1, in which can you pay for this cell, this one? No. This one, the Unbeatable Perfection. And the answer is no, you can. You only activate by placing battle cards in your drop area, or into your drop area. I don't think it's, yeah. With a total energy equal to the original cost of the card with the skill. So in order to do it, it has to be a 9-drop or this 7-drop plus a 2-drop on your field. This is oldie but a goodie. I don't think it's ever been updated or at least clarified for this, and everybody kind of had a consensus that it did work, but I guess it doesn't. Oh well. This one is Esky Keeping Watch, in which during your turn, if you have this card in play, when your opponent plays a battle card with 15k power or less off your planetary auto skill, does the auto skill activate? And no, it doesn't. Since the opponent is not activating the skill, that is my guess of why it doesn't activate. I would say originally it did, since I don't know. When you really look at the card, it was the 1-drop during your turn. When the opponent places a battle card, your opponent then chooses 1 card from your hand and places it on the bottom of the deck. If you have multiple of these, the autos all go off as soon as you play Clan of Terror. But the thing is that this is saying when your opponent plays a battle card, when Clan of Terror plays it, you're playing the battle card for your opponent. So that's pretty much the idea behind that. It's the same sort of thing of Pan and the Android 21 scheme, in which the Android 21 is playing tokens. Even if it is a battle card, the paint player is not playing it, so it doesn't get that auto to basically waste that draw 1 or really the plus 5k. I don't know why there was confusion on this one. I was always behind the idea that no, it didn't work, but Bandai comes out of nowhere to prove me wrong. You attack and your opponent uses Mafuba in response. Can you use all melee resistance to negate the opponent's Mafuba? And yes, you can. This is kind of weird because now there's a discrepancy in which is a battle or a counter attack versus a battle card counter attack, basically. Are those separate keywords, or are they the same? Same thing for Awaken and Awaken Surge. I would imagine because Awaken Surge works with Heartfelt Plea, that it is sort of the same thing, in which it doesn't matter if it is a counter keyword, it will work. In case you forgot, the automatic resistance says counter if your leader card is red, you choose 1 yellow card from your hand and place in the drop area, you negate the counter attack skill. It specifically says counter attack Mafuba, and as well as actually Zeno Almighty Guardian says counter battle card attack. 2 different worded counter cards, basically, in which this one and as well as the Hero's Mafuba are both counter battle card attack, not counter attack. So all mana resistance kind of gets a little bit better in that respect. All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes of the whole entire thing for set 9. As we go into set 9, there's a lot of new cards, a lot of new interactions, and a lot of things that we have to kind of watch out for when you actually play against an opponent. The first ones are within Jiren, in which does this auto prevent my opponents from negating skills or activating blockers against his attacks. The Jiren does not prevent any activation skills, but his attack will not be negated by any skills. However, you can activate the counter attack to gain other effects. And the same thing for the blocker, negating its attacks or activating the blocker. The skill of blocker does not affect Jiren in any way, so it may be used against Jiren's attacks. It's kind of weirdly worded, even this is even weirdly worded, but I will take it as yes, you can block, since it has nothing to do with Jiren. It's a separate sort of thing that's not affecting Jiren directly, so you can use a blocker in order to prevent Jiren's attack. Same thing for Mafuba and Hero's Mafuba, since it does place it on top of the card. It is affecting the card in some sort of way, so I guess that's why. Here's Cooler, the leader, has an auto when your opponent, or when the power of your opponent's battle card is decreased by one of your battle cards, draw 1 card. So if you activate One Hit Wonder in my drop area to reduce one of the power of the opponent's battle cards, does it affect it? Does the auto go off? And no, it doesn't. When a card skill references the battle card with no other text clarifying its location, it is referred to the battle card in your area. So very, very important going forward when and this has been said many times. I've mentioned it before a couple of different videos ago, but the battle card, whenever it does say battle card, it has to be on the field itself. So unless it says something different or it clarifies in the drop area, warp area, or your hand, it has to be on the field itself. Kind of whack, but that Goku is still not that bad. You can still as I understand, I think you can still go ahead and mill them, right? Oh, yes, you still can. So you can still mill them, in which when one of the power of one of your opponent's battle cards is decreased, doesn't say buy a battle card, they still mill one, so that's good. I don't know what happened here, but Bandai just sort of gave up, but it does have something here in which the same thing, if his opponent's battle card is decreased, if you use Cooler to decrease power of 2 of the opponent's battle cards to skill activate, or how does the skill resolve, basically. It goes into pending twice and resolves twice, they mill 2. This one's actually pretty interesting. This one is Cell Android Absorber. It says, if you activate Denial of Hope in response to the card's activate skill being activated. Okay, well, I think this, never mind, because now I realize what it says. Well, actually, no, this is correct. So if you activate Denial of Hope, I was thinking about the other successor card. In response to the card's activate skill being activated from the drop area, does this card's your opponent chooses 1 card from the hand and places it in the drop area, and you can't play it for the rest of your turn, skill resolve. And yes, it does. So basically, I think that's part of the cost, and as well as the effect happening. So as soon as you actually do activate it, you still do drop 1, and then they can't actually play it for the rest of their turn. If you're curious of what card that I was talking about, this one is the activate main. And if you only have battle cards in your area that's 17, you play this from the drop area, and then they choose one from their hand. Okay, here's Belmont, which is really, shall I say, devastating, in which you choose tokens in your battle area to pay costs for this on this card's activate skill. And no, you can't. It states that you choose 3 battle cards in your area, and I think you place it in a drop area. Here he is. Yeah, you choose 3 of your battle cards and place it in the owner's battle area, or wow, drop area, and you play this card from your hand. The issue with the tokens is that basically they are still battle cards. You still can choose them, but the fact that you have to place them in the drop area means that they go out of the game instantly, and because you can't actually go or place them into the drop area, it does not work. And that's pretty much what is kind of a downfall for Green Broly. Like one of the biggest things, the reason why Green Broly, outside of the numerous answers that Green Broly, Starter Broly has, is that the Android 21 scheme basically stops the backside of that leader, in which he can't really play any other cards. It instantly stops it. This will help with that, and you also get a 20k attacker. But I understand that I guess it would get out of hand and be an immediate answer to token decks. This one's an interesting one. It's actually pretty quick, in which the full power Jiren, in which you basically take a life or you create a life, one of those. You can't take any more damage as long as you have Universe 11. Basically, it says later that turn that you do that, if all the Universe 11 cards are in your battle area removed for play, does it remain in effect? No, it doesn't. That is probably really important for the if you ever go against Jiren and you have a way to get rid of all of their Universe 11. If they have like 1 or 2 and you're playing Cooler or something, and then you play the Cooler and then you remove everything that has barrier or not, you can now attack them pretty freely, and then you don't have to really worry about it. So I think this is really interesting, and as well as very important to know. Okay, here's one that's really kind of disappointing. The Trio of Dangers, Mark of the Wolves. And if the battle cards in the area are this card is the condition of the Dangers Triangle permanent in play met. So the thing about it is that no, it's not. The reason for it is because it checks names for each individual character, even though it doesn't really say that, but that's what they're saying. But the other thing is that why this is a bummer is that even if the 4-drop deflect, this one, the Trio of Dangers, Mark of the Wolves, they can basically play it on. This is my understanding. The 4-drop can still be played, and it will be played. It's a 20k deflect 4-drop or whatever, right? But because it is playing 2 different cards from your deck, there's a second counter window. Because of that, you can still Denial of Hope or do something else in response to that. So kind of annoying. If I am wrong on that ruling, definitely let me know in the comments below. This is also a good one to know. Full power freeze with 100% overdrive. When it attacks, the auto skill just increases by 2 of your opponents, or the power of 2 of your opponent's battle cards. How many times does this resolve? 2 times, and then they total of 4. Just remember that they are pending. Each time that it gets reduced, it procs off the freezer effect. So every time something gets reduced, it's 2 cards and milled. Because they have 2 battle cards, it's 4. If you're having the if you have the Coolie Leader, that's 6 in total. So just remember that. Pretty simple, but easy to forget. I think that is all the ones that I think are pretty relevant. If I missed anything, definitely let me know in the comments below. I don't want to talk all day, all night about this, but I hope that this has been a little bit more of a clear up of all the Q&A and the rulings that have been out. I know that I didn't really pull from my usual custom rulings, but all the ones that are in the Q&A are pretty straightforward and has a lot of good information. So definitely let me know if I missed anything. Subscribe if you're new. Check out the website. Got a couple articles up there now. StayZero.net. And I'll see you in the next one.